Welcome to today's Open Heavens Reflections, where we reflect on the Open Heavens Daily Devotional written by Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. My name is Ronke Mosuro, and I'm the pastor of the Covenant Assembly Parish of the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Chatham, Kent. The topic before us today is preventing unpleasant surprises. Bible passage is taken from the book of Genesis, chapter 49, the first 4 verses. And Jacob called his sons and said, "Gather together, that I may tell you what shall befall you in the last days. Gather together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and listen to Israel your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, you shall not excel, because you went up to your father's bed. Then you defiled it. He went up to my couch." The memory verse is in Matthew 7, verse 21. "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven." Our reflection. In the Bible passage of today, Jacob had reached his last moments of life and called his sons together, presumably to give them a view into the future, offering advice and instructions. No doubt his sons expected to receive their father's blessing, just like the one that Jacob had cheated his brother Esau to receive years earlier. The firstborn was entitled to a double portion blessing, which is why Jacob had been intent on cheating Esau out of his firstborn entitlement. Jacob began by seeming to praise his first son, Reuben, calling him by the names, qualifying him, beginning of his strength, the excellency of dignity, the excellency of power, and so on and so forth. All was on course, and Reuben was waiting expectantly for Jacob's next sentence, only for an unpleasant surprise to come. Jacob changed his tone from complimentary to critical. He said, "Unstable as water, you shall not excel, because you went up to your father's bed, then you defiled it. He went up to my couch." No doubt, Reuben was shocked, upset and disappointed that Jacob pronounced a curse rather than a blessing on him. What had Reuben done to deserve this? Reuben had sexual relations with Bilhah, his father's concubine, which is recorded in Genesis 35, verse 22. Jacob obviously interpreted this behavior as a sign that Reuben was unstable and not worthy of the firstborn blessing. Reuben most likely did not realize that his father knew of his earlier behavior and that he would have grave eternal consequences. How many of us are similar to Reuben today, having done certain things that have the potential to stop us from entering heaven and receiving our entitlement as a child of God? We may have never repented of these behaviors or restituted, and therefore they will be recounted when we come before our Maker on the final day. Our memory verse says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father that is in heaven." There are some who will hear that phrase and they will least expect it. They may have been prophesying, casting out demons and so on, yet they will not make it to heaven because they have been disobedient. What a sobering reality check. Be sure today that you are blameless in the sight of God, so that you will prevent any unpleasant surprises. Our key point: it's a privilege to have the opportunity to right your wrongs now. Do not joke with it. Check your life. See you again next time. God bless you.